Following a 12-day war between Iran and Israel, the United States has placed new sanctions on Tehran, this time targeting its oil smuggling network. I'm Daayan Rehmani and you're watching Policywire. Introduced barely a week after a ceasefire came into effect, the sanctions aim to curtail Iran's sources of income, which Washington accuses of funding regional instability. Though the timing may seem counterintuitive, just days after military tensions eased, the move signals that the US intends to maintain economic pressure even as direct combat slows. The latest measures sanction an Iraqi businessman and a UAE-based firm accused of helping Iran evade oil sanctions. According to US Treasury officials, the aim is to limit Iran's ability to finance what they describe as destabilizing efforts in the region. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent emphasized that this is part of a broader effort to hold Iran accountable through non-military means. This reflects a wider American strategy to apply economic pressure while avoiding further battlefield escalation. The war may be paused, but the deeper geopolitical and security issues that sparked it remain unresolved. Iran's nuclear program, its regional partnerships, and its missile capabilities continue to be sources of friction, and the United States appears committed to using sanctions as a tool to influence Iranian behavior even in the aftermath of open conflict. The ceasefire itself was fragile from the start. It followed a period of heavy missile and drone exchanges during which both Israeli and American strikes reportedly targeted Iranian military facilities, including suspected nuclear-related sites. While the immediate fighting has stopped, underlying tensions persist. Iran has expressed clear dissatisfaction with mounting external pressure, and its parliament recently passed legislation suspending cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency, widely seen as a sign of growing frustration over diplomatic isolation. In this context, the new sanctions raise critical questions about intent. On one hand, they reinforce Washington's determination to prevent a return on military confrontation. On the other, they risk undermining the ceasefire potential to evolve into a long-term political understanding. For Iran, already grappling with economic challenges, these sanctions could reinforce a belief that the West is not genuinely interested in a political solution, potentially emboldening more hardline voices within the country and limiting the prospects for dialogue. Dramatically, the timing of the sanctions can be interpreted in more than one way. They may serve as a calibrated signal. Military calm will be matched with targeted economic measures, but it could also be seen as a missed opportunity to pair restraint with outreach, especially when many regional actors are weighing whether this post-conflict moment could open space for conversation. What is clear is that the US is pursuing a two-track approach, applying pressure while keeping the door open for diplomacy. While past American statements under President Trump hinted at the possibility of easing sanctions if Iran engaged constructively, those hopes now appear distant. The latest sanctions could be viewed as a means of maintaining leverage in a context still shaped by mistrust. Regionally, the effects of sustained sanctions will be watched closely. Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, and Yemen, where Iranian influence is significant, may see shifts in strategic behavior if Tehran's financial capacities are further constrained. Ultimately, whether these sanctions strengthen Washington's negotiating position or risk reigniting tensions depend on how both Tehran and Washington act in the coming weeks. If sanctions are combined with genuine diplomatic efforts, they might serve as leverage for a broader agreement. But if imposed in isolation, they could deepen the long-standing patterns of suspicion that have defined US-Iran relations for decades. So far, the truce holds, and the new US sanctions represent continued economic coercion without a shift in strategic posture. The real test now is whether the search for leverage can evolve into a longer path toward peace rather than a repetition of the past. That's all for today, folks. Keep watching Policywire for more updates. Stay informed, stay critical.